Well, hello there. Do you like my new plant? I just got it. I literally just walked in the door with it. It was free. Yes, it's been a while, but I am refreshed and ready to talk about art. I've actually been pretty inspired recently. I know we've been going through the Western Canon so far, which is a great way to kind of establish where we are in the art world, but it's getting tedious for me to talk about, so I know it's getting tedious for you to listen to. So, in this video, we are going to go off script to talk about an art form that is affecting us all. What's going to happen in this video is I'm going to tell you what it is, where it came from, and what it looks like in real life. It's probably something that you have seen. It may be something that you see every single day. And then for a little palette cleanser, I will give you some of what I think are excellent examples of public art. This is exclusively a public art form that we're talking about, so this is something that is in cities. The city usually pays for it, commissions it, what have you. So what is it? Thank you for asking. I'm calling this hostile sculpture. I don't know if there is a proper name for it, but the name I gave it, hostile sculpture, is taken from the term hostile architecture, which is a widely used term that describes features in architecture that are designed to stop people from loitering. This type of architecture targets usually teenagers or unhoused people, but everyone sees the effects of it every day, and while it is only meant to deter certain groups, every single group ends up being deterred from it in the long run. You've probably seen what I'm talking about in your day-to-day life. This style of architectural design is not only hostile, like I said, to these targeted groups, but it is hostile to everyone. Let's use the space outside of the Boston Public Library, and I think it's Trinity Church. Oh my goodness, I lived here. Let's use this space outside the Boston Public Library and Trinity Church as an example. This used to be a wide grassy area with some small trees here and there, but the city chose to cover the area in these pavers. Even a change as understated as this one comes with some significant issues for the entire community. This change made the area much hotter to stand in, which also contributes to the release of more heat into the atmosphere. So this not only affects the Boston area, but this is affecting our global climate altogether. This also eliminated shady spots from the area, so no one has the benefit of resting under trees, getting out of this hot city sun. Yes, Boston is not known for its heat, but it still gets very warm, especially when you're talking about asphalt and concrete and glass and metal all around you. And this also discourages the entire community from this public picnic-style seating. Boston used to have some of the most green spaces of any metropolitan area in the US at 17%, but changes like this are reducing that number quite rapidly. So that's hostile architecture. What do I mean when I say hostile sculpture? Wow, another great question. So it's basically the same thing, but instead of an architectural feature like pigeon spikes or the unhoused equivalent, this is just disguised as art. Now, I really don't like to use the term bad art. I think that there is art that doesn't resonate with me. I think that there's art that I don't understand. I don't pretend to like all kinds of art, but that doesn't mean that I can classify art as any given art piece as something without value. However, if you have created a sculpture for the sole purpose of displacing people who are already struggling, that is bad art. Now you might say, I don't think I've seen anything like this. You probably have. If you've ever seen a public work of art that looks lazy, out of place, or in some cases like it's actively in the way of public life, you may have seen what I am coining as hostile sculpture. By the way, I say I'm coining this. Someone else may have come up with this, and I just think that I've discovered it. Also, if someone has another more proper name for it, please let me know. I was not able to find one. Here are some examples of the kinds of things I'm talking about. Unfortunately, they are difficult to find because I don't think any cities are just out here advertising their worst sculptures. So all of these were taken from the hostile architecture subreddit, and the ones I'm showing you are the ones that I feel venture into the art territory. A lot of the posts on this subreddit are things that people interpret as hostile and not 100% confirmed as anti-unhoused people measures, so keep that in mind as well. You have things like this one from Chile. That is one of the more egregious examples in my opinion, because they've just, taken all of these like poles and concrete obstacles under this shady area and painted them fun colors to be like, oh no, this was supposed to be a fun and happy thing. This wasn't to deter people from getting shade. But we have plenty of others, ranging from these artistic style of benches to spikes that they have tried to conceal as like this artistic stone masonry and things like that. These were the ones I was able to find, but I've definitely seen examples of this in real life. And honestly, the goal of this video is not to show you exactly what I'm talking about, but to get you to think about what you're seeing. Now, you may be asking, why should I care? I care about art. I like looking at it. I like thinking about it. I have planned my entire adult life around learning more about art. But I learned very early on that art means nothing without people. People need to create it. People need to experience it. You don't have to care about art, though you probably do if you're on my channel. You do have to care about people. In my opinion, art should be about building up communities. Even art that makes you feel uncomfortable or purposely removes people from experiencing it can sometimes be meant to draw connections in people's minds between people that they think are not much like them at all. We spend so much time defining ourselves by our differences that I think art should be a place where we can see something totally foreign to us and say, that looks familiar. These sculptures just continue to divide us. It's a disservice to art and it's a disservice to people. Now you might be saying, that's bleak. Allow me to hold a lantern at the end of your tunnel. Here's an incredible example of investment in public art. This piece of sculpture is in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is just so happens to be where I went to school. I was actually seeking another art piece that I had in mind as something that is just an outright nuisance in the area when I found this one, but I'm happy that they're moving in a different direction with their public art commissions. There's websites on it. I'll link them in the description. You know where to find it. The artist talks about how they wanted the sculpture to evoke the tree coverage that is very prominent in the area, yada, yada, yada. This particular sculpture is a place that not only allows community, but actively encourages it. This gives the people shade. It gives people something to talk about. It's an area to congregate and consider and discuss, and it's totally free to the public, which is a great third space that we're very much losing. Again, there are plenty of videos on the loss of third spaces. I'm really proud that this is something coming out of Tennessee. One of the reasons I got into art in the first place is because a lot of my family members who are still living in the area feel like art isn't for them. And this is a great example of true public art. Does it have issues? Of course it does. Everything does. But it's much closer to what I feel we should be striving for in the art field. Obviously. I'm not trying to tell you what to think. I'm trying to tell you what to think about. I want you to go forward after this video to be critical about what art you are being fed. The whole goal of this channel is to encourage you to think about the art that you're seeing, whether that's in museums or in your everyday life. Go through life on purpose. Look at beautiful things intentionally. That's it. That's the video. Also, yes, this camera doesn't have the best quality. It was either have a camera that doesn't have the best quality or continue filming in the room that I was filming in, and that just wasn't going to happen. Here we are.